Very much, and welcome to another Think of a Number. You there? Can you tell me how many 7s in 28?
4.
4! Absolutely correct.
She wouldn't take telling. 20p.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Look at it all over the place.
I didn't.
Look.
Oh, I never. I've got a fight. There was something.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I thought I saw something. An animal. A dog. It must have been that.
There is no dog.
No.
Come on out. All right. No trouble. Come round to the other side. Nicky, come and clear up.
In the next show. Join us then. Bye now.
And the next show will be on Monday at 5:15.
ITV Schools has moved to Channel 4. Don't miss your ITV Schools programmes. Switch over to 4. The same times, the same days, the same great ITV Schools service, but now on Channel 4. You learn something new every day.
Swinging into action in a few moments' time, the Devil May Care A-Team. And at 6:30, Cilla Black arranges another blind date.
Viewers should be protected from this kind of culture shock, says an electrician from Raleigh in Essex.
I tuned into Channel 4 last week and watched a programme called Dance on 4 Bluebeard. I think the programme was badly scheduled as it was on at peak viewing time. The programme consisted of some people leaping about and wailing, and it was really just a load of rubbish. I think if you had a child and it did what these dancers were supposed to be doing, you'd have just told it off and smacked it. The people were badly made up. They had lipstick all over their faces and just looked a complete mess. I think Channel 4 are crazy for putting on a programme like this.
Bluebeard even got a television journalist, Neil Hughes, complaining.
This stuff is so bad it deserves an award for mindlessness. On second thoughts, I'm not sure who is mindless. The people taking part, Channel 4 for showing it, or me for watching it.
Now that other Balletta man, Paul Hogan, under attack, not for those Foster ads, but for his Australian comedy series, and in particular, this sketch.
It's a Powell and Pressburger production. The brilliant team that brought to the screen the dancing stars of The Red Shoes now introduces more singing and dancing stars of international fame in a film that is at once deliciously naughty and capriciously gay.
Hiya, Skinny. Have you missed me?
I've forgotten you completely.
Have you forgotten everything completely?
Everything. And before you go any further, Alfred, I'm married.
Oh, but I'm not going any further. I like it here. Right next door.
Here is Die Fledermaus, brought madly up to date with the most modern and seductive Rosalinda, playing havoc with every man's heart.
I can count your heartbeats.
And I can count yours.
Beating a gay time to this gayest of stories are the famous old melodies of Johann Strauss.
What is the buzzword This is the buzzword
In case my waist doesn't suit your taste, I'll bring you down to earth.
Such music, such dancing, and such a galaxy of stars. Michael Redgrave, Mel Ferrer, Anthony Quayle, Ludmilla Tchérina, Anton Walbrook. Also starring Dennis Price, Anneliese Rothenberger, Oskar Sima.
I ask you, Rosalinda, what is an American officer's tunic doing in a French officer's bathroom?
L'Islande, I suppose.
The moment I am safely in jail, you are entertaining strangers in our room. Americans.
Don't be silly. Americans are not strangers. They are allies.
Oh, dare you!
His Majesty will hold a faith for the faith teaches me
See you soon then, Harry.
Hello, love. Wouldn't I fancy a cup of tea? Hey, dividend and tea bags. That's new.
One or two other things are new.
A cup of tea. A cup of tea. A cup of tea.
Parkhurst, 68.
A cup of tea.
Is your teacup trying to tell you something?
Have a cracking Christmas at Woolworth, the cracker of a Christmas shopping spree. Woolworth prices, many of them cracked down Christmas. Woolworth is the place to be.
And now in the studio, questions about the integrity of the techniques employed in a programme made about the miners' strike. The Chief Constable of Northumbria Police, Stanley Bailey, fears that many viewers will have been misled about police treatment of striking miners because of the way director Ken Loach used the images in his programme Which Side Are You On earlier in the year. For instance, Mr. Bailey complains that this sequence distorts by using an action replay, and during the replay is guilty of adding the sound of a truncheon hitting a striker's head.
So he arrested me, took me towards the police line, and as I was going, I thought I'd make a little protest, and I put my arm up in a gesture, I shouted, "Way!" And with that, he hit me right on the head with a truncheon. And I didn't make no effort to do no harm to him or any other policeman.
Chief Constable Bailey also complains that the way this next sequence is repeated deliberately exaggerates the force used by the policeman in a way calculated to mislead. One of the reasons it has taken so long to raise this issue on Right Reply is that Mr. Bailey has been pursuing his complaint with the Independent Broadcasting Authority. But Right Reply is not in the business of regulation or adjudication. We're here to bring private complaints about programs into public debate. Now, Stanley Bailey, you say that that sound effect in the first clip was added falsely.
Yes, it was completely out of balance with the remainder of the sound, and I suspect that no microphone would exist that would have picked it up in that form without bringing in equally the other sounds around.
Now, you took this complaint to the IBA. What did they say?
Well, they agreed with me that...
Return the sender. Return the sender.
45 of the King's all-time greatest hits, digitally remastered for superb sound. Elvis like you've never heard before. The definitive double album. Available on compact disc right now at John Menzies. Special price of only £14.99.
Are you lonesome tonight?
John Menzies. We've got it.
Blackpool, it's exploding with nightlife. Good Time Emporium's always alive. Tower Ballroom, a waltz or a jive. Maggie May's a drink and a bite. Live entertainment into the night. Dixie Disco, exciting sounds. The place to meet the hottest in town. See Cannon and Ball on stage live, or a host of great stars from 3:25. Big star names and family fun for a great night out.
I'm excited, I'm really excited.
Blackpool's the #1.
Mr. Swadden?
English as tuppence, changeless as canal water, nestling in green nowhere, armoured and effete, bold flag-bearer, lotus-fed Miss Havishambling, hermit, crab, tight-fist eremite, feudal still, reactionary, Rawlinson end. Sir Henry Rawlinson surfaced from the blackness, hot and fidgety fuss, bother and itch, conscious mind coming up too fast for the bends, through pack-ice thrubbing seas, boom sounders, blow holes, filth hounds of Hades, harsh croak blind pews, tip-tap talking for escape from his pressing skull. With a gaseous grunt, he'd slit peered at the cold trench Florrie had left on her side of the bed.
Black spot. God's turbulent Do I need a dare of the hog?
Mrs. E! Cook over! Safety off! Mrs. E!
Yes.
I don't know what I want, but I want it now.
Fried or fried, dear?
Now!
Fried?
I want my meat burnt, like St. Joan.
Bring me Calvin's horseradish with vicious mustards to pierce the tongue like Cardigan's lancers.
Dunno how I got out of bed this morning. Had it all down one side. Put me foot down. God, it was like tugging into the mains. It shot right up. And I came over all giddy.
Was it actually that sound of that truncheon that produced that noise on the
perhaps
screen?
you'll tell us, Mr. Bailey, what a police truncheon sounds like on the back of an unprotected head. That sound was taken at that on that location.
Well, can I just ask you, you've taken it as library film. Is it not possible that the people who put it together in the first place, that wasn't you, that they might have put the two together?
I don't know. I don't think it matters. The point is an unprotected man was hit over the head by a police truncheon. What does that sound like? Is it a sickening thud? Does it depend on whether your skull is cracked? What did it sound like?
I would say it would not have sounded at that level of sound against that background, that until that, and if you were to replay that again, there was a level of sound which, if you had heard a truncheon noise at that relationship to the other sound...
But I think the point is an innocent man is clubbed over the head, and I'm appalled at your effrontery, if I may say so, in coming here. We watch this appalling incident. A man is arrested. He's beaten over the head by a policeman.
I think
and
really.
You talk about the level of sound. Shouldn't you actually be talking about what happened to the policeman? Perhaps you'd tell us what's happened to that policeman.
Well, no, perhaps since it's the technique that's
Let's talk about the
attack.
technique of hitting people over the head with a truncheon.
Can
What's
I come
happened
back,
to the policeman?
Because
Yes,
I've
indeed.
appeared on this programme for one thing. It is called Right to Reply, and in fact, whether Ken Loach has been spoken to by the Independent Broadcasting Authority or not, and I make no excuses for whatever policeman may or may not have done. I'm talking here of the integrity of the presentation as viewed by the public.
And go on to explain what your complaint is then in that second sequence.
And in the second sequence, you will find that, in fact, 3 blows were struck, and I make no apologies and I don't support it in that way. But let me say that, in fact, 6 blows were shown. If I care to watch a football match, if there's a replay, it either says it's a replay, the editing sequence is such. I'm left with a feeling that this was an attempt to deceive those people who were watching to believe that there were in fact 6 blows struck then. And I call into question the same technique in regard to the added sound of that truncheon blow.
And again, the IBA support the Chief Constable because they say that by running it, it made it look as though more blows had been struck.
Well, clearly the Chief Constable has trouble watching football. I mean, you must think the score is double what it actually is. It was quite clear that that is an action replay. The policemen don't dance around with the truncheons. They actually hit you very hard. Now, I'd like to ask the Chief Constable, what's happened to that policeman who hit that man 3 times? What's happened to him?
Can I say the right to reply was to touch on the question of editing techniques?
I think it's a fair question, which I have answered, and I would like you to answer that point.
Now,
what has happened to that policeman? Has he been charged?
You've had an hour, and it seems to me that you should be writing into Right to Reply, making that complaint about another programme.
No, I think we're entitled to know what's happened to that unprovoked assault on a defenceless man.
But you're using up the complainant's
You're using
time
the complainant's
by opening
time.
up a whole other area of
Quite
discussion.
frankly, Gus, on this sort of approach, it strikes me that Ken, having produced a programme that, in fact, did not look at balance, and it's quite clear in his very approach to my complaint regarding editorial techniques, deception,
I've talked about the editorial techniques. I've talked about the reason why it was done. The reason why it was done was to make it clear.
Was it to make it clear or to make it
because
worse?
if it goes through fast, then often people don't notice the brutality that was portrayed by the police in this instance. Now, in this case, you can see it clearly. Now, you may sit there and smile, but I think it's a fair point. Was that policeman charged with assault? We've all witnessed his assault. Has he been charged? Now, I'm sure you've done research into the film. You have done research into the film. You've conducted a long correspondence about it. Please tell us.
Well, could I ask you, the IBA have charged you with unprofessional behaviour?
You've had a lot of bad press recently, particularly over your last film, Give My Regards to Broad Street. How would you describe your relationship with Fleet Street?
They've got the right to say just what they like, you know. I think some of them go overboard, not particularly with me. I'm quite decently dealt with, I think. They don't like Broad Street. It's tough, you know. I didn't like it that much. But,
You didn't like it that much?
Not that much, no, it's not.
Well, why did you put it
quite
out?
good.
Why did you go through all that pain
Well, I
and
don't
the
know.
hell
Why did you
of
work
it?
for breakfast time?
Because of the pain and the hell of it.
That's got her, viewers. Getting up early and that. Now, what kind of job's that? I ask myself. No, but it's because you just do these things in life, Selina. Let me tell you, as an older man, Let me explain what happens. You just find yourself in the middle of a project and you're putting it out, like this interview. You don't think, you know, if I kick the camera, we won't show it. So what I mean is, you do good work and you do not so good work, and the not so good work gets released along with the good work. But all you hope for is, in the end, that you've done more good work than not so good.
What keeps you going, Paul? What possible new challenges are there for someone who's once been a Beatle?
You don't sort of feel like that. You know, I've written some songs I think are good songs, but you always want to redo it. I mean, just because McEnroe's won Wimbledon doesn't mean he doesn't want to win next year.